The following images are from an accident that happened to us on February 7th of 2020. It was a light winter storm, kind of came by surprise. 1 a.m. I get a phone call from a personal customer. They had crossed an icy bridge and spun out and went backwards into the cable barrier. And I told him, no problem. I'll head that way. I'm on my way there. And I get about halfway there, and he calls me back, and he says, "Man, you're not going to believe this." He said, we need two wreckers out here." He said, "Another truck just come across the bridge and hit my van head on." At that point, I made the decision to go ahead and call Christian County Sheriff's Office. I said, "This bridge is obviously very bad. I want some backup out there behind me." I'd also dispatched out a second truck of ours. And upon my arrival, I obviously see the van and the truck nose to nose with each other. The van is still backwards in the cable barrier. I arrived shortly after the sheriff's department had arrived on scene, and I went over my game plan with the responding deputy and told him, "Hey, I'm just going to load this van up. I'm going to sling this truck right behind on my wheel lift, and we're going to roll out of here just as quick as we possibly can." And he said, "All right, sounds like a plan to me." I'd actually radioed to my other driver and told him just meet me down at the gas station because that's where we're going to do the accident report and everything. And he did not get my radio message. He had actually showed up on scene. At the time I got the van loaded up, my second driver, Steven, had showed up on scene. And I said, "You know what? He's here. We'll just load up the truck." And thankfully, that was the choice we went with. Could have had very devastating results if it hadn't. The slow down, move over is very important to anybody in the towing industry, and in the hopes of this video reaches outside of people in the towing industry, to kind of show how important it is. While we were loading up the second vehicle, the truck, another driver had lost control coming across the bridge, and right after I had Steven get in the rollback to reposition it, I was working from the driver's side controls in between my truck and the cable barrier. And the lady came across the bridge, lost control, barely missed the deputy's car, and broadsided the rear of the truck that we were in the process of recovering. That in turn caused that truck to come over the side that I was standing on, hit me in the face, slammed me up against the cable barrier to where I fell to the ground and ran to the front of the truck. At that point, I had lost all verbal and motor skills, and the only thing I could do was say a lot of swear words. And Steven jumps out of the truck, checks on me, makes sure I'm okay. I did receive minor bruising in my back muscles from the cable barrier, but other than that, I was fine. But I'd actually thought about wearing my GoPro, and I kind of wish I would have, just to see what the footage looked like from my angle. Because I could not hear her. I did not see her coming. I had no advanced warning that it was happening. I had just hit the winch control lever to start winching the truck up on the bed the rest of the way when she had impacted the rear of it. So the following images are from the accident and the recovery. We were able to utilize our heavy-duty wrecker and recover the truck off of our flatbed rollback and place it back onto the deck where we were able to transport it. I ended up having to call one of our traffic control vehicles and a third rollback to come get the car. The lady that was, luckily everybody that was driving the van and the truck were all in the cab of our rollback, and they were uninjured at the time of the accident. And luckily my other driver was uninjured at the time of the accident. Very, very, very thankful for the way everything turned out. The lady that was driving the car, she did get transported to the hospital, but she was okay. it brings everything to light, and it really kind of makes you open up your eyes about how dangerous this job is. Everybody in the towing industry, everybody's been brushed. You know, you've had close calls, but until one actually happens, it doesn't really actually open your eyes to how dangerous it really is out there. Everybody talks about it. A tow operator is killed every 6 days working the job, and it's very dangerous. So please enjoy this short video, and there's a little video clip at the end from the dash camera of the deputy.